how does this feel to you guys, what you have done so far? And if you go back all the way to that night against Chicago in the play-in, did you think then that something like this would be possible?
Damn right. I did. Damn right we did. And the best part about it is we still don't care what none of y'all think, honestly speaking. We don't care if you pick us to win. We never have. We never will. We know the group of guys we have in this locker room. We know that Coach Spo puts so much confidence and belief in each and every one of us, Coach Pat as well. And so our circle's small, but this circle got so much love for one another. We pump constant confidence into everybody. And we go out there and we hoop. We play basketball the right way, knowing that we always got a chance.
How do you not like this guy unless you're a Knick or a Celtics fan? Jimmy Butler had his second career 30.5 steal game in the playoffs with the Heat. That's the same total as the rest of the Heat's postseason history combined. Butler is also the first player with 35 points, 5 steals in a playoff game versus the Celtics since steals were first tracked in 1973-74.
All right, so the Heat steal home court. Nick Friedell joins us live from Boston. And, you know, Nick, confidence has never really been an issue for the guy they call Playoff Jimmy. But in a lot of ways, this feels like hyperdrive. How's that locker room? Eric Spoelstra, this team, how are they describing what Butler has been like this postseason?
Kevin, the belief that Jimmy is giving that Heat locker room is palpable. Spoelstra just said this team believes it can win because Jimmy's out there. You can't quantify what he's giving us. Gabe Vincent told me he's one of a kind. When Jimmy's playing like that, we know we got a chance against anybody. And you go ask Jimmy, and Kevin, the craziest part is I've covered him since his first day in the league in Chicago, and he still thinks he has a higher level to hit. So he thinks that there's a different point in time where he can make everybody else around him better and make himself that much better. So this Heat team's confidence is off the charts because Jimmy is taking them to a place that he believed he could all along. But anybody who gets in their way believes that they got problems now because Jimmy has a swagger about him that the rest of this team is feeding off of. And now they're 3 games away from a finals run that would make it the most improbable of Jimmy Butler's career.
Nick, he goes for 35 points, and he's the offensive star of the game for the Heat in this game. But defensively, the job he did on Jason Tatum, what stood out to you about what was said about the defensive effort Butler had tonight?
Kevin, here's the key with the Heat, and it starts with Jimmy, but it goes all the way down the roster. There's no fear at all. They've been in all these big moments. They played this Celtics team 3 times now in the conference finals. He's not afraid of Jason Tatum because he's seen him so often. Bam Adebayo isn't afraid to get dirty down on the blocks because he knows that he's got what he needs inside to slow down the Celtics. This Heat team is never swayed by the moment. They don't care how loud a building is. Jimmy just told us, hey, it doesn't matter if they're booing us. Are you kidding me? If there's one person not to boo in the league, it's Jimmy Butler. He loves it. He loves the idea that he's the villain, and his teammates thrive off the notion that he's the guy that sets the tone that everybody else will follow. So defensively, this is just a start for a Miami team that loves being the underdog. This is where they thrive, Kevin, and that's why that belief in the room, because Jimmy puts it within them, and Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the game, is only going to go stronger so long as this series keeps rolling.
Yeah, don't call him an 8 seed in any manner or form. Tim Bontemps going to have the Boston side of things. This is Nick Friedell joining us here from Boston Garden on SportsCenter.
You get tired of doing the little things sometimes. I think that showed exactly what we was talking about earlier, our spacing. We have a lot of great players, but when we're all on top of each other, nobody can be great. So, you know, you got a good defensive team like Miami, they make you pay for that. So we gotta make sure we do those little things, and we can't get bored with those. And we gotta realize what has got us the lead or what was working for us. You know, Joe's real big on a lot of times not bailing us out on stuff when we're playing like so. You know, we gotta look ourselves in the mirror. You know, Joe could call a timeout, and then what? We come out and do the same thing. So it's on us, you know. Joe and his coaching staff, you know, they put in a lot of work to come up with a game plan and put us in the right spots to succeed. But they're not out there playing. So You know, we got to come together, and we got to start helping each other out, you know, on both ends.
Understandably so, a lot of curse words after the Celtics lose game one. Tim Bontemps will be doing none of that on SportsCenter as he's covering the Boston Celtics, joining us live. Tim, what were the Celtics saying about that third quarter where they were outscored 46-25? What is that?
Well, Max, there were a litany of reasons that the Celtics listed for why the third quarter went so poorly. Marcus Smart just went through some of them there. Another couple that he said, the Celtics have to play with a lot more physicality and they have to, quote, play some damn defense. Another one of the things that Marcus said during a pretty lively postgame interview, as it often is for Marcus, but he was not the only one. Jaylen Brown said that the Celtics played this game like it was a regular season game. Marcus Smart said that they were antsy and everybody was trying to make plays down the stretch. Jason Tatum said that they lost track of what they were doing in terms of game plan discipline, something Joe Mazzulla echoed as well. And really overall, the Celtics were just kind of shell-shocked at how poorly they played in that third quarter. Al Horford told me that it was unacceptable to give up 46 points to the Miami Heat, especially after giving up only 57 in the first half. So generally, the Boston Celtics come away from this game where first 24 minutes, they look great. And in those 12 minutes in the third quarter, they let this thing completely get away from them. And a team that has dealt with inconsistency so many times over the past couple of years in the playoffs, Max, is now very consistent in one respect. They are 11-11 at home over the past two playoffs. They're simply not good enough to get where they want to go, and they'll have to be much better in Game 2 if they want to even this series up heading back to Miami for Game 3.
And here's another stat for you. The Celtics fall to 0-4 against the Miami Heat in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. They went on to lose 2 of the 3 previous series. It's not cursing if it's a direct quote. Tim Bontemps joining us live on SportsCenter.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.